track of music, but we will figure it out as we move along here. Welcome everybody to the Tensport Tales. This week you can in fact hear what I have to say. Sorry about that. Last week. So we'll believe last week we did we went and talked to what did he call himself again? I called him the Goad, but he had a title.
His title was just the Tangle.
The Tangle, right? Okay. Yeah. So we talked to him. He was a big goblin, and he told us basically that we need to go and talk to one of the older heads of the clan to find out anything, basically, because he didn't really want to talk to us. It was the long and the short of it, from what I gathered. Unless somebody else remembers anything different, that is basically what happened, and we are now face to face with the former council leader member person. I don't remember his actual title.
The former Huntmaster was his title.
Yeah. Dude.
That guy.
Yeah.
He's a rat.
He is a rat.
Back to rat, and now I actually have the name for the heritage of the rat instead of just being able to describe the rat. It's a long snout rat. But hilarious. You guys kind of cross this like open clearing area just behind who we now lovingly call Rabbit.
Yes.
Their little
area
garden patch there. You guys get crossed over. Basically, like asked to approach, having seen it. Seen this kind of large tree off at the very end here, and as you guys had approached, a long snout rat folk with very white fur had kind of come out to greet you guys. Yeah, you guys basically walked up to there. He's this person kind of just walked right out. They seem rather timid as they had stepped out. But they've kind of got their head like just slightly lower. But they don't seem very old here. Probably, is probably actually on the younger side. They seem to be essentially just a young adult at this point.
Well, it's older than me, so I will say, hello, honored elder.
He looks at you and just, oh, me. You have me confused. I assume you're here to look for an audience with, the former Huntmaster?
Oh, yes. My apologies. I thought that might be you.
Oh, no. Very flattering. I assumed you weren't from around here. So, no, very, very flattering. I don't know if it's a great time right now. His hand very nervously kind of like makes like very jittery gestures, and just like when he says right now, he kind of just like double points at the ground as he does so, and kind of like as he's talking, both hands seem to like kind of flip up, down, around, and he kind of like his eyes jump kind of from person to person here.
Seem like some kind of a warding gesture?
Can you just quickly make a yeah, let's go with a
occultism or religion or something?
I was gonna ask you for a, sorry, give me 1 second here. It's here somewhere.
A society?
Yeah,
I'm really good at that.
I was about to ask you for society here.
Okay. Boop. How about a 24?
24.
Yep.
Yeah, as you're seeing, as you're watching his hands and kind of watching his eyes, the eyes have the look of either somebody who's up to no good, or somebody who's trying to like, who's connected to something that is occurring right now, and that's a look that you've seen many a time. It's they've got that nervousness of somebody who's not trained to cover something up, but essentially now has to. And
Mm.
from the way that they gesture their hands, it's it's mostly very erratic. Like when their wrist kind of flies up and out towards the outside of their bodies, it's very erratic. But the whenever he's like seems to be talking about like the here and now, you see that he pretty much instantly like points down at down at the ground, and always does so twice. You kind of for a second there, you kind of follow his fingers downwards,
Hmm.
um, and you see that there is a distinct kind of like black, splotchy kind of look just under his feet here. And as you kind of look a little bit past him, you're noticing that actually he seemed to have tracked a little bit of that out from inside of the house.
Hmm. Um, is he talking loudly?
He seems to be he seems to be for at least his stature, he
Mhm.
is.
Okay. Um, I'm what do I want to do? I'm gonna say, um, like what, how do I want to do this? Maybe we'll try using imprecise scent, and I'll roll a perception.
Precise scent.
So, it can sense creatures or objects. I know they're close, but I don't necessarily know where. And then if it's particularly strong, a strong scent, I can potentially double or triple the range. So it would normally be. It doesn't say a range. Scent involves using creatures or objects. The range is listed in the ability. Imprecise scent. Finder 2E. Let's see what we got.
Precise senses. Things. It's like stuff like hearing. That's like stuff like smelling.
Yeah, it doesn't really say what the range is. The range is listed in the ability is all it says, but my ability is just imprecise sense and it doesn't say a range. Anyways,
It kind of leaves it up to you, because it connects it to the seek action.
okay. So anyways, my goal is to see if whatever this either if this black gunk has a scent to it, or B, if I smell anyone nearby that's not him and not one of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you just make a perception check for me then,
Yeah.
will you?
21.
21.
Yep.
Yeah. As you kind of as you're kind of like give the air a little whiff here, you can smell that the the gunk has a little bit of a tarriness to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be coming off of his feet, but also coming from the place behind him. which makes sense considering the tracks that you've seen. But as you're kind of like sniffing around, you can smell that there's something else there's another um creature in that place as well that doesn't quite smell of tar. There's a distinct mix of a smell every
Mm-hmm.
like once in a while. You kind of just catch a slight whiff of like, how do you put it, like medicinal smell.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. Um. I'm gonna
You know, if
kind
it's a
of.
matter of medical treatment, we have a couple of people really skilled with ointments and stuff here. Perhaps we could help with whatever the problem is.
Oh, um, oh, uh, no, uh, unless you're very, and you can see that as he's trying to like formulate his words, he like suddenly is trying to think really hard about how to say something to you guys. Um, he's obviously not very skilled at trying to do any sort of double speak here. And now this poor young rat is basically like now trying to hunt for words that he's kind of talked himself into a corner on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, buddy. I it seems like you're in a bit of a pickle right now, and you're not being very forthcoming. But let's put it this way: we got a pretty wide skill set between all of us. So maybe you just take us in there and let us survey what we can do to help.
Okay. All right. Um, come on in then. Gonna
And then I gesture to Warwick and say, "After you."
All right. You seems to be in danger. Let's go.
he steps towards the hut, opens the kind of the partition here that they have created out of just like woven branches, leaves, and vines. And even as his paws touch the edges, guys can see as black tar-like substances seem to be dripping off of them as he
I
lifts
just
them up.
realized I was muted.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, the magic person who was trying to do magic-y things was muted.
Okay.
We can
I
roll it back.
would-
We can roll it back.
No, it's okay. I'll just I would like to do detect magic.
Mhm.
And see if there is anything magical going on. And maybe
There does seem to be, yes.
okay. My magic radar is just blinking off the thing.
Yeah. As he approaches the door, I'm gonna reach a couple fingers down to the black goo that he left behind and see if I can identify it by feel and smell.
Make me a recall knowledge here. I'll give you nature.
Wow. That's 23.
23. Going hot today.
Yeah.
As you as you l- as you dip down and kind of feel this, it's a little tacky. It's a little but if you feel that as you like pull your fingers apart quickly, it holds pretty firmly and almost like snaps back. But as you kind of slide it along, it almost just feels like a nice, smooth kind of texture. Um, you're not really sure what exactly this is, but you recognize that it's almost like almost tar-like and acts almost in a very non-Newtonian way.
I'll okay. So I will suggest to Rin that
Mhm.
she watch anything with fire. If we
Okay.
get into trouble, I think whatever this is might burn. Like it smells like tar, but it's sticky, and tar when heated burns. So I'd be careful with that.
Okay. In which case, is
Can I-
warp lead? Sorry, continue. Go for it.
I see um if I can clear it, or like if I can get that sort of tar-like substance to go away with prestidigitation
With prestidigitation?
to clean it.
Yeah. On the, so as you just kind of like you're just like, oh well, this seems like a very obvious um soil on something. Um, you target the kind of patch there, and the tar does clear quite easily on that one kind of footprint left behind.
Hmm.
But what you notice has not cleared is kind of the dark patch that's kind of left on the dirt and soil underneath.
Can I see if this is like a magical thing? Like, does
Uh,
this feel like occulty? Does this feel arcana-y?
you can give it a occultism recall knowledge if you would like.
All right. I have taken skills in occultism now. So let me. Okay, that's a 14 plus 6. 20.
Okay. Uh, it as you kind of think about like what could leave something behind like this, um, a few ideas come to mind. Desecration is probably chief among them. That kind of treads into religious territory, but it's still a very
Ah,
common effect. Curses could also do something like that because prestidigitation usually on most things is pretty good universal. Even with a lot of stuff that magic might leave behind, you're pretty much able to clear it unless it needs to be like straight up countered
yep.
or dispelled. So in this case, it kind of strikes you as something of that nature, especially because of the fact that it seems to be a material or a substance that's causing it.
Huh.
It doesn't strike you as like a spell that could just be dispelled, or some sort of
Okay.
enchantment or runic effect that might be able to just be might be dispellable. It feels much more like something that's kind of either creeped in or is kind of just like spouting.
Hmm.
And that brings to your mind specifically like a desecration or a curse style effect.
I'm gonna look at our new rat friend. I'm gonna say, so you're cursed, hey?
He kind of looks at you and says, "Huh? I
The,
don't think so."
the
Always
black
Because
straight to
drippy
the
stuff?
point.
uh,
The desecrated ground?
uh, this is not. And as he stutters to try to find his words, you guys can hear another voice now calling from the depths of um this abode, which kind of you guys have had the flaps kind of lifted here, and you guys can see a little bit in, but the ground here for a lot of it seems to be covered in this tar-like substance, and so are most of the walls here. There's like the odd spot that's not. Um, but the rest of this place is pretty much pitch. And as you kind of questioning this younger fellow, eventually it's a voice from the inside just says, "Do not insult the spirits with your words, please."
Evil spirits, though. They're not happy spirits.
Good or evil, they have their place. If you are here, then be here. If you do not wish to be here, you may leave.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but I don't know about our paladin buddy over here. Work? You okay with going on to desecrated land?
Is work okay with yes? I don't see why I wouldn't be.
He has
If
to redeem the desecrated.
yeah,
land.
if anything, I want to make to fix it. So
Okay.
I'm just looking through my tenants here. There is I'm not like a cleric, right? Like there is nothing that says I can't go. I must try to redeem or rehabilitate those who commit evil acts. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if what he's doing is evil yet. I cannot pass judgment at this point.
Isn't desecrating innately evil?
It depends on whether he desecrated it or not. We don't.
Okay.
I don't.
In which case,
I don't know yet. So I'm willing to. And if he did do it, then maybe he can change his ways.
okay. In which
Yeah,
case,
maybe that it's not even that the spirits are evil. Maybe they're just unhappy.
Yeah.
That's true, too. Maybe the spirits need to be happier.
I'll get my ghost vacuum.
sorry. What are you getting?
His ghost vacuum.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
It's not ready yet, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah. Oh man. In which case, I assume, are you guys stepping in then?
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
think so.
Yep.
I don't see why not.
In which case, you guys step into the area, and the instant you step in, this entire room, which is actually quite large considering the tree that you have seen outside, was quite wide. But the stepping in, it's kind of a large dome-like shape in this interior. With all this kind of black pitch stuff kind of like just covering all of these walls, with the odd spots that are once again that are not covered yet, but you guys can see are slowly shrinking away as well. You guys look inside and see as there is what probably is the shape of like where there used to be a bed,
Ah.
a small table, a sort of kitchen, and perhaps like a sink area, and all of that is just kind of like covered covered in all of this kind of blackish tar material.
Lovely.
But in the pretty much center of this room, as you guys kind of step in and now can kind of feel as this stuff is on your feet, your boots and shoes, there is an old minotaur-looking man who seems to be sitting directly on top of what could only presumably have been maybe a few. It looks like there's a rise in this goop of about, I'll say, an inch or so, sitting on something rectangular like that in the middle of the room. But he seems to be like shaking some incense in his hand, and just like around his neck you guys can see a variety of like natural twigs, vines, kind of wreathed together in various ways with large kind of pouches for various scented leaves and petals and things like that that seem to be burning a little bit as well. So there is a little bit of smoke in this room now that makes it even less friendly to the eyes. Um, but he seems to be sitting there and doesn't seem to be thoroughly bothered by a lot of what's happening here. As you guys all step in, the little rat kind of like lets the curtains back down and then just kind of like steps up onto a little step stool that he had on this kind of near the side of the door, and you guys can see that this step stool is somehow not completely submerged in all of this stuff yet. There's still maybe a few inches before this stuff might slowly creep up onto it. But he just kind of like tiptoes onto it and just kind of stands as still as you can. Well, kind of acting as a door guard. He just kind of like stands there, back towards the wall, slightly away, keeping his shoulders as in as possible, his hands as close to the himself as possible. He just kind of perches on this stool. But as those flaps close, the entire room also kind of goes a much darker color. The most of the lights in here are really just coming from the basically the burning incense that he has in his hands, which are just now start looking more and more like a hypnotic kind of metronome. And then there's kind of the odd kind of like slight flame coming off of some of the petals and leaves that he has on the wreath that he's wearing. What brings you all here at this hour?
Well, we were here hoping for your aid, but it looks like you might need some help first.
We do not need aid here. We just need answers. Only answers.
I also
What's
need
the
answers.
Questions? What's the questions you need answers for?
The question is why the blood has slowly seeped into this house and where it's coming from.
Blood of what?
The blood of the enduring. This is disturbing at best.
By enduring, are you referring to a specific individual?
No.
What?
No.
I'd assume it's a spirit.
Wait, wasn't... So this might be completely off, but wasn't the Enduring those, like, creepy dudes that we saw that, with the religion that checked over the cold steel? Or am I just completely off base?
Oh no, those guys worship like the end of all things.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought they were called the Enduring, and I was like, oh, is it that guy?
Blood for the blood god.
He kind of just he like seems to continue to look around the room a little bit, and you can see it every once in a while as the kind of incense come back to his face and then away from his face, back to his face, away from his face. It almost like snapshots his face as his head kind of like swivels and pivots. He seems to also be very confused, but just like tries to like just stay mostly still with the exception of these hands and incense kind of waving back and forth.
So when did this happen? This like blood from the enduring starting to seep in.
I only noticed it a few weeks ago.
Huh.
Can I? Okay, I have a question.
Mhm.
The enduring. Is this some kind of? Is it a spirit or is it a god? Like, is it something that I would know of? Is it
Uh,
is it like a different? What sort of thinking of like a different name for something that maybe I know of from my past?
make me a religion recall knowledge, if you will.
That is a 16. If it is a failure, let me know.
Sure. Um, the the enduring is something that you've heard of so very long ago. Um, often actually your like the war band would sometimes call themselves the enduring. Um, or like if they find anybody who um kind of has fought to the very end, or now that you kind of look back on it, you suppose perhaps the bitter end. Um, you might know of those. They might call those people the enduring. Um, you know that the enduring it very much refers to more the concept of those who choose to endure, as opposed to an actual individual spirit, god, or otherwise.
It's like
Okay.
ancestor spirits as opposed to.
Okay. I'm just thinking because, like, I was just wondering if maybe I knew something about this, but kind of, it seems like yes and no.
It's a yeah, it's a very it's. I mean, I guess the question would be like how deep would you consider your work have been um in that sort of a culture? I guess is a better question. Before he kind of repented, like was he kind of like a just kind of like on the surface going with it because that's the way of life, or was he like a full on like head in the Kool-Aid sort of a guy?
I think that, like, based on the fact that he is, um, like the way he treats his war mask and the fact that he is a, like, is it a hold scarred orc? Is pretty. There's a lot of ritual scarification, which kind of seems like it would kind of go back to that kind of like enduring through the pain type thing.
Hmm.
That maybe yeah, that was how he. I think that would be it would fit how that was how he was raised when he was younger to now.
Okay. In which case, let me. So in which case, let me try to word this. Add a little bit of information here. In which case, kind of um, how you would already always conceptualized the enduring, and also just like the endurance is people who have, as you said, kind of have gone through suffering and chosen to continue through it. um you would know that historically this was often also referred to just as nature itself as the enduring, because often even in the war bands, when they have to go through and torch locations, those locations will grow back and whatnot as well. But you know that just like your own skin, just like any place that you kind of like burn down or clear cut, or villages that you might completely massacre, things don't always grow back the same way. There's always something that leaves behind. And you would understand that the blood of the enduring is essentially the like cumulative to your understanding, probably like the cumulative spiritual energy of that. All of the basically like wrong done, looking for another way to continue in some way, be it to strike back or to just exist.
Okay, I relay this to the party, or in some way, and I'm kind of so a way I think of it is like the blood of the enduring is it is a manifestation of wrongdoings basically, and it, like at this point it has kind of culminated and it is starting to take form, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Huntmaster, has the enduring bled before?
The enduring always bleeds, but how much the form the blood takes is.
Has it been like this before?
It has once before, but it was sealed once before.
When was this?
This would have been back before when I was younger too, before I was former or huntmaster. This would have been back when Claw Trail rose up and attempted to raise the city.
Then I think we might have a possible answer. Something in common with what happened then is happening now.
Yep.
Our old friend, Mr. Fry.
Yep, Mr. Fry.
Well, not even Mr. Fry so much as it seems as though there
Whatever
are
he's possessed by.
Yeah.
there's
Whatever
but,
he's
Sure,
possessed
yeah,
by.
yeah, there also seems to be some form of other entity or benefactor here that is trying to raise Claw Trail
Mm-hmm.
in revolt. I don't even know if Mr. Fry has anything to do with it at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah, it could be some nature spirit that has over time been absorbing the worship from Clawtrail.
Or it could be whoever brought back Dallin is actively trying to cause this to happen.
Also true.
Given sort of like Dallin's big thing that he was after was the idea of like bringing nature back and like all that sort of stuff, which was very different from what he had been researching at the university, which makes me think that he potentially tapped into some sort of spirit or something that wants revenge over whatever is causing all this enduring blood stuff. And so that might.
How long ago was the city founded? Could it be a holdover grudge even from when the land was first developed?
Oh, all of this is a culmination of every grudge. You see, when you cut a tree, you may bleed its sap a little bit. If you tap it more, you may get syrup. But if you continue to cut it, eventually you grow rot. And this spirit, or what might become a spirit, is that rot.
Mm-hmm.
If you continue to cut it, you can also count how many rings there are, which is mostly what I'm asking.
As you guys continue kind of speak to him, eventually you guys hear as something from above you starts saying, "Right."
Do you have a visitor?
It may be starting. Do not insult it. As you guys look towards the voice up above, you guys can kind of see as like a large globule seems to be forming in the dead center of the top of this of the roof. And that globule slowly, as it kind of like pulses, slowly kind of seems to expand outwards as if like a large drop of water about to fall. But before it falls, it kind of like then segments itself again at the lowest point, creating a slightly smaller glop. And then as it does so again, it slowly seems to push out what look like large legs that seem to go then to each of the sides of the room here.
Nothing about this is creepy.
And it essentially just becomes a large gooey spider on the very top of this roof. But now as the kind of legs take form, the head now kind of goes into what looks like almost something that's like uniquely not human but human at the same time.
Just like all those statues. How they were like
Hey.
bear but not bear.
Yes,
the turtle
or
that-
hummingbird eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I summon my shield to my back. Just in case.
Is that friendly, Mr. Huntmaster?
It is if you don't insult it. As this thing seems to now also grow teeth of varying creatures in its mouth, and opens up to talk to you guys more.
Gross. I don't say that out loud. That would be insulting.
Yes.
I think it.
Yeah.
It now starts. Where is Fry?
Is Dallin a friend of yours?
On.
He can be.
Is no, I won't say it.
Dallin is within the bounds of Tensport currently.
Oh. For good?
Hopefully not.
Good. Good.
It's kind of why we're here. We're hoping to find a way to keep him out.
To keep him out.
Or do you want him in?
I think he knows where he needs to be.
Where
know
he
where-
thinks he needs to be is murdering a bunch of people.
Oh, I see.
Would that make you happy? Or sad?
Yes, that's quite good. That's quite good.
Ah.
Why do you want people killed?
Well, you know who I am. It makes it better. All of this gets better.
All of what?
All of this gets better. All of it. Yes. Yeah.
Who are you exactly?
I am the blood. What else can I be?
I'm getting a real like her from I think that was their name from like Powerpuff Girls vibe from you. Fantasy
Okay.
Powerpuff Girls, sorry. Was it him?
I don't know what that is.
Maybe it was him. It was like this big red demon-y clawed lobster clawed thing. Talked like that. Anyways, I lean over to Rich and I say, I don't think I can physically leave the room while this thing exists.
I don't think you could fight it.
I beg to differ.
Ooh.
when he says physically fight it, I don't know if he means win against it. It's kind of like an amorphous liquid.
Yeah. So the blood.
Yes.
Why are you choosing to sort of center yourself here in this hut? It seems like there would be other places where you could gather. Why here?
Why here?
Yeah,
Because
just curious.
because and the human head of this thing now kind of droops down from the rest of the body and kind of like hovers just over the old hunt master. And just asks, why here, Zale? Why would I spawn here? Why did
A little
you
bit of a
choose to
Faustian bargain.
Why did you choose to be here? Why is this your house? As the head kind of like swings in almost like a pendulum over top of him, um, the old hunt master just says, "This is the wellspring from which the crystal lake flows. The water from the lake flows from this spot up the underground river and into the lake. But no, why here? The the thing seems to just cackle a little bit. And just you've dirtied the old lake, didn't you? This entire that lake was very well and dearly dirtied. Now, for all of you guests here,
The
what
lake
did
was
you
dirtied? How was the lake dirty?
They called it the Crystal Lake? Is that where Dallin was?
that was, yes.
Yes.
Okay,
It probably
that's
got
what I
dirty by putting a guy in it.
yeah, that'll do
A
that.
dead cursed guy.
Yeah. Which is Guy X2.
Oh. That as you kind of get like the you guys can like see in that like snapshot when the incense comes close to his face, you can see that face of realization from the old hunt master. But now the thing kind of seems to turn its head a little bit and no longer seems to pendulum, but instead kind of like twists it around to look at you guys. So, are you about to stop, Dallin?
That's our intention, but we promised not to put him back in the lake.
Oh, I see.
I'll be honest, my intention is to separate whatever is causing him to be a royal pain in my ass from him so that he can go about moving on with himself and dying like a real man.
I see.
Also,
That's
the
very
Dallin
good.
Fry issue is sort of up in the air and the to be determined. I feel like we don't have enough information yet to make a good, solid idea of what we actually need to do with him. Do we stop him? Do we let him rampage? Who knows at this point?
I still think we should get him to turn into a smoke monster, and I'll suck him up with my vacuum.
But Mr. or Mrs. of the Blood, it sounds like you have quite an interest in Dallin. How are you connected or otherwise engaged with Dallin?
Well, sorry, we I suppose. Am I Mr. or Mrs.?
They also works just as well. They're them.
I heard his thoughts the entire time for so many years. And he is correct in a way. Because at the end of the day, if Tensport does not continue to cause this much pain, then I would not exist, but also then we would all be at peace, wouldn't we? It would be good.
So, you are, in essence, how would I put it? The culmination of animosity?
For now, I suppose. We're
And you're at the moment too much, but you still want to be, you still want to exist.
yes. Huh. Existing is weird.
Fact.
Truth.
Preach.
Yeah.
So now I don't want to feel all this pain, but I want to continue to feel.
So what would reduce your pain?
I don't know. I think the pain is what makes me live.
I think the pain is how you know you feel anything at all. I think it kind of comes with the territory of feeling.
I agree.
And existing. Can
Yeah.
concur.
I agree. Have you felt pain?
Yep.
I try
Very
to
much
avoid
so.
Are you feeling pain now?
it. Physical, no.
Are you feeling it
I'm
now, Mr. Krabs?
technically recovered from my injuries, but I've had this shit kicked out of me a lot recently, so there might be some residual effects.
Then
And
how
I have
do
the
you-
emotional pain of watching my dear friend Rich get the shit kicked out of him.
But if you're not, but then you're not feeling the pain now.
No.
Called healing.
Oh, then I need to make sure. Then I need to make sure you're alive. Then, don't I?
Not necessarily.
Uh-oh.
I called it.
Rin
In this
throws in
mo-
a not necessarily.
Yeah, you got in, not necessarily. Where would you? It seems to stop. It does stop for a split second here, as you guys can see that a lot of its legs seem to have pointed at you guys. But it seems
I try
to
to-
it does turn its head in Rin's direction
I
here.
step in front of Ren and push her behind me.
I pinch Rin really hard on the arm.
necessarily. So whilst life is pain and there is pain involved in life, life is not all pain all the time.
There are other feelings.
Like hunger or sadness.
Or joy.
Or joy.
Or contentedness.
Yeah.
Or greed.
Or even things like disgust. Or annoyance or anger.
Or love and compassion and a feeling of redemption.
Or annoyance again for some reason.
You are the expert on that.
At this
Would
point, with everything that you
you-
guys have said,
Would you like to feel a different emotion?
it then kind of turns to you guys all and goes, I felt some of these before when I wasn't me, but what is, and it seems like it has like one of its like large arms in front of it having like split off one finger for every like thing that every little point that you guys made there. and it kind of like counted them off. So how does one feel love, greed, and compassion and
At the same time,
redemption?
or generally speaking?
I'm not sure. This is on your recommendation.
So I would say those might not be the ones to start with because those are complicated emotions and only typically happen if you've met the right creatures.
I don't know.
Sure.
Greed's pretty basic.
Greed is pretty basic.
Also pretty based.
Yeah. I mean, there might be a feeling of greed right now over, wanting to stop the pain. There might be some greediness over wanting your will and your actions to happen.
Well, and your desire for
Revenge.
answers and knowledge is a form of greed.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay, and then it kind of like puts that finger down. So what about love, compassion, and redemption? Where am I getting these from?
Well, as the resident expert on redemption, it's simply a matter of taking the things that you once did to, say, wrong people or wrong others, or any bad thing you've done. Maybe you were greedy at one point, and righting those wrongs. You simply do the opposite, in a good way.
I just came into existence, so I would need to unexist?
Not
No.
quite. Let's say you were to get very mad and attack us, like you were considering doing just a few minutes ago. Redemption would come from you, say, apologizing and maybe helping us after attacking us or something like that, because you would have wronged us and then you would have corrected said wrong and made it right.
You know he's gonna attack us now, right?
Make a. Can you?
No, but yes. What do you want?
Can you make an impression?
Can I make an impression? I already?
Well, we're gonna see how whether or not you can kind of
23.
Okay.
Okay. It considers all of these things for a second. And even the kind of incense seem to slow in their pattern just a little bit here, as every once in a while you guys can kind of see like the weird confusion on the former huntmaster's face, as he's like trying to consider the fact that you guys are telling the embodiment of what is essentially one thing to now start embodying something else. But it goes, I see. So, well, I'm sorry. I wasn't meaning to attack you. I simply wanted to make sure you knew you were alive and existed. But to redeem myself, I would like to offer my assistance. Is that correct?
Yes.
Look very specifically
Yes. Yes.
Coincidentally, that may also lead you to compassion. Your
And
desire
love.
your desire to help someone else, even though you may not gain anything from it, is compassion.
Interesting. It kind of puts down another one of those fingers. Just, So now I should want to help you. and would develop compassion by doing so?
Yes.
That may very well happen, yes.
Yes.
In which case, how may I assist you?
Oh, I got a good start. I
I am
will
going.
say it like this. There is something that is broken, and I am looking for a piece of it. Do you know where I might find that?
There is something that is broken that you might find. Need a piece of it, or do you want?
It was.
You might find
Are you talking about the cold steel?
Let's see
Munt?
what Mr. Blood says.
Sorry. What did Munt say there?
Oh, I was just saying. We'll see what Mr. Blood says.
Okay. It says there. You are looking for something that is broken that you need.
It's my job to put it back together.
I see. You would find it where the sun would shine brightest, but in the darkest corner of that space.
Duly noted. Thank you. Does it feel like you've developed compassion now that you've helped me?
I don't know. It doesn't feel that much better.
Maybe you have to help more of us.
Okay.
You were.
How can I help you?
Mhm. Oh, I'll let you go first then, Rin.
Out of character, Sean was going, shoot. What does Rin need? God. Whoops.
I know what I need.
Okay, Work, you can go first.
What I need is a way of succeeding in my goals. A way to honor my god and lead the seven we'll say the seven chosen upon their path to redemption.
What is that?
This
is some really deep shit that Ben and I have only talked about.
Yeah. This creature, like its head almost like the place where its head is and where all those teeth are coming out of, like almost seem to like implode on itself as it seems to like it's all of this goop seems to pulsate a bunch as it's like, how do you solve this? How does one? That is. Yeah, and you guys watch as the entire the entire body of this creature seems to shake a bit, and the entire hut itself now seems to shake a bit, and you guys can see as some parts of the goop kind of like plop a little bit off the walls, off the ceiling, and like onto the ground and things like that. The Huntmaster's face kind of like once again you can see those snapshots of it now, like the face of a man who's very scared now. It's just you are undertaking this. This is what you would this is what you would like to do.
This is the path put before me, so yes.
You would never find rest. How would I find rest? I do want to find rest at the end of all this.
You know what they say? Only the wicked rest.
I don't think that's the phrase.
That is not the phrase.
It's the phrase that Wark lives by.
That sounds right.
The head snaps towards you now and says, then
It's the opposite. It is the opposite. No, it's the opposite.
Okay, I'm gonna need.
The wicked never rest. And then Rin glares at Ward.
But if-
Rin, I need you now also to make an impression here.
Okay, what do I roll for that?
That is, I believe, a diplomacy.
It is
check.
diplomacy. You have to understand that where work is coming from. If work said there is no rest for the wicked, that would imply that he himself is wicked because he is undertaking a task in which he can never rest.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to use a fancy feat for this, which is I get to roll twice and take the better one. I'm using Faye's Fortune.
Faye's Fortune, huh?
Yeah. Because I really, really, really want to.
It's kind of like using a hero point, only it's a feat.
Yeah. Whoo! Okay, that's a 19. Plus, what is it? Diplomacy. That is a 23.
23.
Hey, same.
Yeah, this. Yeah, that actually specifically now that's my problem. But this thing is now like kind of like its head now snaps like very violently between the two of you, kind of like trying to like identify which one of you is saying the correct thing and which one of you is not saying the correct thing, because now you guys have like contradicted each other. It's just like
I look at it and I say, if it helps, I did not mean to insult you.
You are.
No, it was confusing, if
It
anything,
was
I'd imagine.
very confusing. The thing is, things that are evil or wicked tend to never need rest. And the fact that you're telling us that you really want to rest at the end of the day would lead me to believe that you are not wicked and therefore are trying your best to be good.
He wants to undertake an endless task.
He does.
And
I know for a fact that he rests at the end of the day.
But I never rest from my task.
That is true. But
And
that's because you have chosen a fool's task.
I step aside.
So there's no rest for the wicked or the stupid.
I step
what it
aside
says.
because I was standing in front of Rin to attempt to protect her, and I step aside and I usher the being towards her.
I'm trying not to get killed or you killed, but thank you. This is.
in which case you watch as this being like the head kind of like rushes in towards Rin here, but stops quite short of you. And just so then what do you want? If his task is endless and his task is to know, his task is to do, what do you do?
Me?
What is your task?
My task? That's a good question. My task is one that I must sort of do alone, for it is something that augments myself and is something of great pride and interest to myself. And I feel like if I had too much influence and too much help, it would feel almost like it wasn't done on my own.
As once again the like pulsating kind of starts again. It's like, but then how do I provide you with compassion and help if I cannot help you?
This is fair.
Like once again, kind of like parts of this room gonna shake again, and then the kind of like very like substance seems to like drop off the walls a little bit and onto the
Rin's
ground.
going to look back and like attempt to look them in the eyes, and she's going to say, That being said, there are many tasks in my life that I will need to do. And whilst you may not be able to help me with my main one, there is one right now that we are ongoing as a team that I imagine we could use some help with.
The shaking kind of like just like stops or flat out and goes, okay, so what is it? What do I need? What do I need to help? What do I need to do? What do you need help with?
need help with the problem that is Dallin Fry. We need to know who, if you might know, who all is on that list of his. Since you heard a lot of his agony, I wonder if you were also in touch with his list.
You could read his thoughts. Maybe that gave you that information.
His list.
His list.
His list is one person who gave away all the secrets. One person who killed him once before. And one person who paid to have him killed.
Got it.
He has more now, doesn't he?
He does.
Yes.
He also and then he kind of this thing turns to work again. He also has a never-ending task to complete, doesn't he?
Yes. It's kind of like part of my task to alleviate him from his never-ending task.
But wouldn't that? But does he take pride in his task?
No.
I don't think he does.
Does he need to accomplish his task?
No. I think if from what he has told me, he would prefer to not continue with his task, but he is compelled by some kind of evil initiative, or you could even say it maybe an evil spirit, much unlike yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Something
I see.
attached to him. And he
Oh,
can't
I
get
see, I
free of
see.
it.
We unattach him, and maybe he can be good.
Or pass on or rest.
This is so very bizarre. All right then, the final one here then. What about you? What can I do? How can I help you then?
Well, that's considerably easier. I'm looking for the answers to 2 questions, and you might know the answers.
Okay.
Since you were connected to the lake when Dallin was there, do you know who let him out?
Let him out. There was an older gentleman who said that they needed Dallin to complete his tasks. He had fancy clothes. He spoke with a fancy voice. He said he needed, if the tasks could be completed, they could both have what they wanted. He said that there was power in it. Power and wealth.
Okay.
Wealth is greed, right?
Wealth and greed are often connected, yes.
Oh. That individual had a lot of greed then.
Okay. The second question I was interested in knowing about is, with Dallin in the lake were stones made of cold iron. Are you able to sense them? Do you know where they are?
How can I sense them? I felt them when they were in the lake. When they were in the lake, I felt oddly calm.
Hmm.
It was, I didn't, but I did not exist then. Now I do, and the calming and their presence now repulses me. But they are all within the city. It seems that there is one up where the sun shines, and the remainder are scattered to the limits as is possible. And there's one somewhere in the middle?
Uh, that might be the one that we found already.
Oh, then you're well on your way. That's
Mm-hmm.
excellent news. I like to hear that you are closer to completing your task. Is this compassion? Is that what this is?
Likely.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that'd be compassionate, Jason.
Oh.
Now, just a thought. You say you are we. Is all of the blood a part of you? If a piece were to be separate, would you still know where it was?
I think so. Like, maybe. I can feel a lot of things. I can feel a lot of pain and a lot of pain elsewhere as well, way off in the distance across the vast waters. I can
There's a
feel
war
that
going
too.
on overseas, isn't there?
Yep.
There is, yes.
Okay. There is another way you might be able to help us, and it also might give you some new experiences.
Oh, really? And this is?
If we were to bring some of you with us, since currently you feel repulsed by the cold iron, you could let us know if we were close.
Or
Oh,
calmed by the cold iron.
oh, I see.
Well, he was calmed by it, now he's repulsed by it.
I understand. You want to cut off some of my flesh.
It seems...
Yes. If this will help you, yes.
Okay.
There's like a bizarre eagerness now as he's like,
yeah.
as like his fingers and whatever the fingers and hands were doing as they were kind of counting things down, and now almost like in a greedy kind of like hand gesture, just like yeah, this is great, and then just like extends one of the hands in your general direction. Here, please, each of you take a bit, take a piece.
Munt, do you have like a flask or something?
Yeah, I probably got something in here. How about this? I pull out a half-broken light bulb.
What do I have?
You take out the kind of half broken light bulb. It kind of like it like one of its like now like whatever 15 fingers from all the emotions and possible feelings that you guys had kind of listed out previously. It kind of like takes a finger and like puts it in dips it into the light bulb and just like along the jagged edge just like cuts itself off there and kind of lets it
Oh,
just
that
kind of
works.
like slosh around in there.
I'm gonna empty out my water skin. I'll drink a bunch of it, and then I'll dump the rest, and I'll let it put some of itself in there.
Oh yeah, Yeah,
Oh.
it kind of like sticks the finger in, and you kind of feel your water skin fill up a bit before it kind of like abruptly like slides its finger sideways to kind of cut itself off, and then you can feel as it kind of sloshes around a little bit inside before you seal it up here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out a little vial. I'm just gonna be like, I only need a drop or two.
It kind of like it tries to like sticks like a very small tendril into the into the vial, and once again kind of like, and then you
Thank you.
you cork that up.
I appreciate it.
I have a very, very interesting question.
Uh-huh.
So there's two things I want to try. One,
Sure.
this thing seems to be able to take on other forms, right?
It seems pretty fluid at the moment, yeah.
I offer my shield to it and say, can you coat this? I don't know how this works. I'm just imagining it more like a Venom symbiote.
Yeah, it kind of like splats. It kind of like runs one of its feet along it. It's just I can. And it kind of like slams its leg into it, and just kind of like and it kind of like splatters. Can I just get everybody kind of near Work? I guess technically, Work, are you still at the front here?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. In which case, do you guys watch as it kind of splatters against Work shield and kind of like splatters out sideways? Had any of you kind of like been like right beside him at the time, it would have like very much like splattered just like on top of you. But it kind of like splats onto the shield, and just like you can feel your shield get this kind of very cooling sensation over top of it. And it's kind of like it seems to like slowly kind of creep around on your shield, and like very much kind of like the Venom symbiote. It seems to kind of like reach around, or just like, and slowly creeps up towards where you, like where your hand holds and things like that are, and slowly kind of like oozing around it. And it goes, oh, I could see everything from there. This is excellent. I like this. Good. Yeah, you have a coated shield. I guess I'll have to send you what that can do.
Yeah. So the other thing was I was gonna see if it would go inside one of the 7 crystals, but whichever seems cooler. Is
How creeped out is old Huntmaster here at this moment?
He seems pretty freaked. Every once in a while you kind of catch it or catch the incense as it passes near his face, and he's just like he's silent but very wide-eyed.
Oh, I take it this isn't your average Tuesday, Mr. Huntmaster.
No, I commune, but not often with this spirit in particular.
Why not? Seems like such a great guy.
I suppose so. As the head kind of like once again goes to pendulum mode over the old man. It's like, yeah, I seem like such a great guy. Why not commune with me more often? Kind of just swings back and forth. In which case, it kind of says, all right, yeah, you can. Now you guys can take a little part of me and just go wherever you need, and then I can help you find the cold
Steel.
steel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And let us know if we can help you as well.
Yep.
Because that's
Yeah.
what friends do.
Ah, I'm your friend. Ah, it's very nice. I like being friends. Friends are good. I think this is nice. I'm learning. I'm learning about what it means to exist. And he kind of and the hands now kind of go from like cut off fingers and whatever that it had that were like gooping back together to now like almost like a childish like swinging of the arms here. It's rather weird because it's super gangly, and as there are like too many joints and too many fingers kind of like flying around this room now. But it seems like genuinely very excited for the prospect of like, oh, this is a lot of stuff that I didn't know I could do. This is if yeah, I think my goal was to make the people who made suffering need to suffer. But I don't know if that's what I need to do now. That felt like my purpose, and then I guess when my purpose is over, I would cease to exist. But this is much better.
Well,
I can
the
sit here with you.
well, and
Looks
the
back to the
feeling
old man.
the feeling you're describing is what we'd call potentially, in a way, justice. People who do bad then have bad visited upon them. And that's kind of our business.
Justice. And I am a spirit of justice.
That might be true.
But it also seems like you're a spirit of curiosity. Because you enjoy learning new things.
I am a curious
You're a
justice
curious.
spirit.
Yes.
Maybe you were a just curious spirit.
This is fascinating. I never thought I would know so much when I've existed for so little. This is excellent. This is very excellent, friends. This is very good.
Well,
I'm
seeing
glad.
as you are new to existing and you're learning all these things about you, we should probably give you a name, as that is a core tenet to existing, and blood doesn't really seem to capture your essence, as it were.
Ooh.
Or doesn't feel like it fits you.
Blood does not seem to fit. I am blood of the enduring. I am.
You are. That's a description of what you are, but it's a little wordy. Names are
What about
different.
What about body?
Well,
I am body.
I was thinking if you
What about
are
Zalbeck?
I
I am Thalbeck.
no,
Zalbeck, the Inquisitive Judge.
no, he's if he thinks if he feels a sense of justice, he can be Justin.
I was going with body as in blood of the endurance, but the acronym.
Oh,
BOTE as in BOTE.
Oh, yeah.
Body.
So
Boat.
or Bodhi.
Naming is interesting. So you are trying to find. So you are all trying to think of other ways to describe what I am, but not what I am.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
a
am,
little bit of a shorthand.
for example, I am a Knoll and I am an inspector, but that's not my name. You are the blood of the enduring, but that's not necessarily your name. It's what you are, not
I
who you are.
but I am the bulwark of Mesluda, and I am also Wark. So you see how I get my naming.
But that's because you chose your name. Mine was given.
And my name is probably unrelated to anything about me, I would guess.
As is mine. Mine is just
But so then what? Why do you have names then? Why not call yourself what you are?
Because how would you
Because what if there's
differentiate?
someone else like me?
Yeah, it's something that's unique to you.
also
What?
makes it quicker to call someone if, let's say we go around with Wark's full title. That would be very wordy if we need to get his attention quick. Whereas if I just say Wark, it only takes a second or two.
Also gets the attention of many other people when you say my full name.
So
Yes.
He's doing a lot of mischief.
so you are work because work is a convenient way to have people call you, but is also convenient for people to know what you are.
Yes.
And then you are null investigator, but not null investigator, and you two are not what you are.
What if we called him Sticky?
I am sticky.
Like old stick
Sticky
fingers.
justice.
Yeah.
Stick fingers? Sticky.
I like justice.
Just Justice?
Just Justice.
Justice is already a name. That's good enough, yeah.
Justice or Justin.
Justice is also a good actor, so it's fine.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Justice works.
Justice is fine.
So I am justice.
You are Justice.
Justice.
Just like Batman.
Yeah. You
But much
but you're not
You're
the knight.
Justice.
That's not a title that we can give so freely.
I'm gonna say you're Justice, but full title might be Justice, the Blood of the Enduring.
Yes.
Oh. So I am justice, the blood of the enduring, because I am the blood of the enduring.
Who
which
seeks
is
justice.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
just like you are Wark, bulwark of Mesluda, because you are
The bulwark of
bulwark
Ms.
Yes.
Mesluda,
Yes.
who is Wark, and
It
then
is very
you
wordy. You might want to
and
just
you-
not say it again.
and you are null investigator, which
Rich
is not
gold.
rich gold. Is not gold green?
It's a different thing.
There's a U in there.
Yes, it's a different word. It sounds the same, but it's not the same.
I see. So you are rich gold, which is null investigator, but not null investigator rich gold.
Both of those are correct.
Oh, okay.
Changing
then-
the order makes it the same.
And then and then but then those but then you and you are not who you are.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
And
definitely
yes.
not sure who Munt is, so yes.
I am Rin Sato, which I don't believe I actually told you my name. But I do not have any other fancy title. I just go by Rin.
Yet. No fancy title yet.
Don't.
So you are just Rin, which is not you. What you are.
Yes. I, as an individual, am Rin Sato. But I do not have any additional descriptors because I do not have other people call me by my job title as I look at Rich and just lightly give him that like confused look of like,
I mean, you're still finding yourself. That's fine.
really?
I know what I am.
And if you try to look at work, he looks away. He still feels insulted that you called him out in front of this deity type adjacent thing.
I don't look at work at this point. And I just sort of go, I have time to sort of figure out the rest.
Absolutely.
Rin is it for now.
I die young. I have to figure it out soon.
You know what they say?
That's fair.
Only the good die young. Did I get that one right?
That one you got
That's
right.
true.
Yes, that
So
one is correct.
But this means that I must die young? Do I must
Well, we
I
don't know
die?
how yet.
It's young is
Young is relative.
young is relative.
Oh,
For, a bird, young is a few years. For a tree, young might be still a millennia. Relative.
interesting. This existence has a lot of things that you have to think about.
It's a lot
It
more
does.
important than just, being angry and suffering the sufferers.
I see.
I would argue a lot more fun too.
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
It kind of goes back to counting on the fingers so how do I feel fun?
So that's something I can actually sort of help you with. Would you like to feel what it's like to feel laughter?
What is laughter? Laughter. No, I know laughter. Laughter is a physical reaction.
Yes, but often laughter also can be fun.
Laughter can be fun, but is not fun. So laughter is
Laughter is a zero-sum
fun.
game.
Laughter is the name of fun.
Laughter is a byproduct of fun.
Yeah.
When you're having fun, you will often laugh.
I see. I see.
And whilst I may not be able to have you feel this currently, it might be something that as you travel with us, as I have my little vial, which I'm gonna sort of try and attach to a necklace sort of thing, so that they can sort of just watch from there. I'm gonna say maybe you might be able to experience fun as you journey along with us.
Fun.
Fun.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I don't know about you, but Munt makes me laugh pretty often.
Truth.
Yeah, we have a little bit of fun around here, and as I say that, I haphazardly throw my broken light bulb full of his bits and bobs into my backpack.
Yeah, as he kind of goes. So Munt is fun. So Munt is the name of fun, which is you.
That's basically it.
Munt is
But I
the
have other
comic
tasks
relief.
also.
Ah, I see. This has been a very fruitful existence. I have learned a lot about existing.
And you'll
Well,
learn a lot more.
Hopefully, we'll help you learn some more. Maybe we should leave Zale. Is that his name?
That is his name, yes.
Yeah. Maybe we should leave Zale to his meditation.
Yeah. Do you have another place you could go or hang out so you're not scaring him?
I am scaring?
He
Zale, are
seems a
you
little uncomfortable. And I look to Zale and
he kind of says, Zale is the name of uncomfortable, which is you.
I think it's more that's how he feels right now.
So where do I go then? What do I? I mean, I can go with you, but I need to. Where should I go?
Find somewhere where you can.
Were you
What?
invited into Zale's home?
No, I sprung forth here.
Hmm.
So this is where I began.
Okay. Well then, maybe you might. You maybe want to go back to like the lake. Do you want us to take you back to the lake? Is that something you're interested in?
Go back to the lake. I was from the source. I sprang. Gained form from the spring that feeds the lake that's
Hmm.
below this house.
Maybe just going outside of this tree and into the woods or into another tree that isn't Zale's house.
Or we get Zale to move his house.
Zale's house is movement,
No,
which is the name of the.
It could probably be moved.
Zale's house is in this tree.
So this
Okay.
tree is. It's Zale's house is the name of this tree, which is movement.
No, it doesn't move.
Yes.
That's not
It
me.
definitely doesn't move. Don't confuse poor Justice.
You could go outside the house and climb up maybe a tree and observe your surroundings. I mean, it seems like you have a lot to learn about the world. So if you wanted to
I
go
will
somewhere
leave and
and
observe.
observe, that might be interesting.
I see. Okay. I see. So I should go outside this house, which is movement, not movement.
What? Why don't you?
This
The more I think about him going outside, the less I think it's a good idea.
If we
okay.
take you outside, we can help you enact justice.
Yeah, but justice
So
is coming with us, no matter what.
I am justice. That is my name.
Yes, you.
Yeah.
We can help justice to do justice to other people.
Correct.
Wait a second. Justice,
That's my name. That's me.
I have a proposition for you.
Okay.
That means deal or bargain.
And I say, you know how you like coated my shield and like put yourself into vials and stuff? Could you just like reduce yourself like that? Is that a thing you can do?
Can I? I am not small. I
I don't actually know how big Justice is.
Justice is currently all the goop that you can see around this house.
It is not a small amount.
Nope.
Yeah, he's not small. To put it in perspective, like this house is essentially like almost like a large dome, like like not amphitheater, but like it's a pretty sizable thing. If you walked in, like it could easily sit like a small audience worth of people if they were like to come in and watch, like listen to somebody speak.
Mhm.
And he covers all of it essentially, and plus the globule of him now that hangs like a spider from the ceiling. Is I cannot be small. The I am the curious justice that is born from the wrong that has been done
Mhm.
in the world in the world.
Mhm.
That's a big thing.
That is a pretty big thing. I don't think we can get that thing to be a small thing.
But I will come with you.
But the rest of you needs to stay here. That's what you're saying?
No, I can't. But if I don't come, if you're bringing me,
Mm-hmm.
can then I cannot come with you. I am because I'm here right now.
We are bringing pieces of you with us.
Pieces of me are
Yes, you
going
can
with.
be in more than one place at once, can you not?
Yes, I can feel all of what is me, or will be me, or might potentially be me, everywhere. But now I am here and now with you. So can I? So you're telling me that I can then, if you take me away, I should go outside. I should leave the house, Zale's house, so that I can go see.
I think maybe what we could do is have you sort of stay with Zale, but maybe be able to go outside a little bit with Zale and be able to come back in. Like, be able to look at the trees and see the birds and stuff.
So I should stay with Zale.
Yes.
Zale, do you think that's an okay idea? I look at him.
Zale's shitting bricks.
We have befriended
Zale-
the spirit that got summoned inside of his house.
Yeah,
Yep.
Zale has just watched as the culmination of all the anger and wrath of the world has essentially been turned into a curious child and basically been told to stay with him. And
Who needs
this man-
magic?
To be
This
fair,
is all this man can think about right now. His face is barely visible now as the incense have slowly kind of just stayed as far from his face as possible, as he's just kind of like the waving back and forth that was once like measured and metronome like basically slowed to a crawl.
Right, Zale?
Yeah.
Good.
Sounds good. Now, the reason we originally came here, Zale, is we have reason to believe that the the Claw Trail Council has possession of one or more of these cold steel pieces, and we were hoping we could have an introduction.
Well,
I think you
I-
really want us to have that introduction.
if I am to stay with what you have now named Justice in this house, I cannot introduce you.
Well, a written introduction would probably suffice.
I could try. Do you have any non-justiced paper?
Oh, absolutely.
I've got paper and pen.
I always have paper.
You guys hand him basically the only things in his house outside of himself and this incense, this stool that this kid is standing on, and he's just gonna like you guys kind of walk up to him, kind of trudging through Justice, and the guy he just kind of writes down, but by my hand, that of Zale. Please be introduced to. Then he writes down your guys' names and kind of in the order that you guys had previously kind of introduced yourself to Justice here, that he's picked up on and just signed it off. And just hands it back to you with the pen.
Oh, Justice, are you familiar with sleep?
What is sleep?
It's the Tesla death.
Yeah.
There was no rest for. I thought there was no rest.
For beings like us, there is, and also for Zale, and they tend to sleep on beds, and I point to where the bed is in the corner. If Zale asks to sleep, can you move away from his bed?
It kind of like you can watch as it like the layer slowly starts to thin, but at a meager rate. He says, "I can try."
I think Zale would appreciate that.
That would be a great way to act as a guest in Zale's home.
I am Justice, the curious Justice. The blood, Justice, the blood of the enduring, the curious Justice, who is a guest.
Guest of Zale, yes.
Guest of Zale. All right.
You got this.
I
You
don't
guys
even
kind of
have
hear
it.
Zale also doesn't go.
Yes.
Can you bring me food then?
Oh, heck yeah.
I actually look to his little like
Yeah,
that
the other
shed,
friends.
and I go, "That's probably gonna be your job."
Yeah, the person kind of like just nods and then just dips as quickly as possible.
Yep. All right, cool.
All right,
Um,
Zale, we're on the case.
Thank you. I will. Best of luck on your journey. And Justice's journey.
yes, and
We will be back.
I don't know, make the best of things.
And with that, my assumption, unless any of you have anything else to do, is that you guys are going to head out here.
Oh yeah.
In which case, let us call it a night, as you guys have just made what is essentially a spirit of all the cumulative vengeance of a world into a toddler.
Seems
I mean, that seems
perfect.
like amazing. I mean, we done good.
Wow.
I am firmly of the belief that this is a demonstration of friendship is magic right now.
Yeah. Rin will also go up to work and attempt to mend things.
I'm upset.
We
Yep.
we will get to that next time.
Sounds good.
Oof.
Just remember, you called Wark dumb.
No, you
And everything he
said
believes
that
in
my
dumb.
yes, you said that my entire life's purpose and goal was a fool's errand. I'm writing it down in my
I have
notebook.
a good save for that. I do actually have a good save for that. So
You
I
should
have to write
probably
that down.
write that down.
But I don't take notes, so this is going to be a pain. But I will write that down.
We'll
It's
have
okay,
to
just
take
listen to
notes
the
now.
episode right before next time, and you'll hear yourself say it, and then you'll know. So with that, thanks everybody for tuning in. That was a really fun and very strange episode. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm sure everybody else did too. If you like this kind of content, we stream every Thursday here on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Tyler72. And you can also find me on YouTube, where I post all of these. I know last week's just went up like literally before we started today because I was dreading uploading it because of an audio issue that happened last week. But you can check it out there. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. This Sunday, I will be streaming in the morning and not at the usual time slot because I have plans that evening. So we'll be doing some magic or something in the morning for those of you who are interested. Yeah, until next time, guys. Peace. Have a good one.
Alright, good session, everyone.
Alright. Cheers, guys. That took a weird turn.